Oh, with more losing to talk about, we welcome in our Knicks insider Steph Bondy. Joins us in the studio, nice enough to come straight up from the Garden, where we watched today's loss and covered the game. All right, we've talked about it, but you have an insight and knowledge that we don't have in this. You're around him. Do you see Melo waiving that no-trade clause?
No, I don't. I mean, things can change if the team keeps breaking ground to rock bottom. But, remember, he forced his way here. He loves it here. His wife loves it here. And he thinks he can outlast Phil. So I think he's going to, by the trade deadline is going to come and go, and he's going to still be a Knick.
All right. Now, we know Charlie Rosen is a Phil Jackson confidant, but Phil didn't write that. Are you convinced, as Melo seemed to be, that this is all coming from Phil?
Well, not that so much that Phil told him to write it, but he's parroting Phil's thoughts there. Right? He's done it before when he wrote the Phil Chronicles. He's done it 2 years in a row. And you can read it understanding that this is what Phil is thinking. So I think that's what Carmelo, got the impression of that as well.
All right, let's get to the lineup changes today. They actually worked. Kuzminskis played well. Ron Baker, came in, gave them some energy. Carmelo stretched 4. Should those lineup changes stay? I guess Kuzminskis won't whenever Porzingis comes back. But the other two, Baker and Melo at the 4, you think they should stick?
Well, I mean, there's a reason Ron Baker's an undrafted rookie. I don't think he's the long-term answer there. I mean, he gives them heart and grit, which is what they were looking for in this instance, kind of send a message. But the important thing is Carmelo plays power forward. And I think the long-term solution for this team, so long as Carmelo's there, is Carmelo at the 4 and Porzingis at the 5. And I think that's what you might see. And if it were up to me, I'd take Joe Kimno out of the starting line.
Out of the starting line position. Anybody else like Ron Baker? But by the way, Baker is American for Dellavedova, I'm told. What do you think?
No, I like him in the mix. I mean, I totally agree. He's not the long-term answer, but even watching them in the early 4th, I think they came in down 5, like 88-83, and they might have gone on like a 10-0 run. It's not just that they were scoring, but it's that defensively, it's that extra effort. It's that they're getting in front of guys. When there's a missed shot, they're boxing out, getting rebounds. Undrafted rookies or undrafted free agents do those types of things because they want so badly to be on the court.
Garden folk hero.
Yeah, he is everything that they are not. They try to get by on sheer talent. He gets by on effort and energy and hustle and all those things that you can respect.
Yeah, but the thing about it, I agree with you, but he doesn't make an impression on these other guys. I mean, they're not sitting there saying, oh, I got to do this. They're playing their own game.
You're saying Melo not influenced by Ron Baker?
I don't think so.
Yeah, I think you're probably right on that.
It takes off a guy like Courtney Lee, who was paid $50 million. So
that's fair.
We'll see where his head's at after this.
All right, speaking of where head is at, does Derrick Rose understand how he's coming off when he goes AWOL, but now is criticizing the coach about getting on the team about playing defense, and then didn't play defense down the stretch very well?
Well, he looked terrible today because in the final shot, Dennis Schroeder's game-winner three-pointer, he didn't close out, Derrick Rose. And he was criticized by Jeff Hornacek. And this is kind of how the Knicks turn, how the chaos is one day Derrick Rose is criticizing the coach, and the next day the coach is criticizing Derrick Rose. So it was a bad look for Derrick Rose, but if you ask, does he care? I don't think he does. He's that rare kind of...
Does he understand how he comes off?
He doesn't care. I'm telling you. He doesn't care.
That's what I was going to ask you. He doesn't care. So what do you think his future is here?
I think that he's too difficult to trade. Because of his situation. He's in the final year of a contract, and he went AWOL. So you have to question, where's his head at? I think after the season, though, they're going to cut ties. I mean, even when he's played well and been healthy, they're still a sub-500 team.
Quickly, when's Porzingis back in the lineup?
I think next game. I think
Wednesday in Boston.
Wednesday in Boston is he tried to give it a go today. The trainers told him no go, but I think he's almost there.